Started here. All right, everybody can see everything, right? Let me know in the messages if anything's weird. So thank you so much for coming to the 2025 Nebraska Passport Stop training. This is usually a pretty informative, at least I like to think it's informative training. So please take notes if you have to or anything. But again, it is recorded and we will be posting it on YouTube so you can rewatch the whole thing or sections of it whenever you need to. And if you have staff that you want to share with it, they probably don't have to watch the entirety of the training, but they can watch sections as well. So let's get going. Alrighty. First things first, who is Nebraska Tourism or Visit Nebraska is what we kind of do business as now. This is our staff right here. We are a small team of about 12 folks here in Lincoln. We have two interns. This is one of our intern, Bobby. We have our director, John Ricks, our marketing director, Jen, and then our deputy director, Heather, who some of you might have worked with if you've ever done grant applications or been involved with our grant program at all. The other person I'll point out here is Ben. He is our social media and PR guy. So if you ever work with the website or anything like that, he's the one you're going to be communicating with. I'll also talk about Sky right here. She is our front desk gal, so she will be the main office line. So if you guys ever have any general questions or need anything, she's always very available. So Visit Nebraska as a whole focuses on bringing out of state travelers to the state of Nebraska. We do this through campaigns, grants, consulting, group travel, any sort of help we can have. Our staff is constantly out and about in the state, so we work really hard to make sure that where our faces are being seen and being, know that we're here to help you. Um, I myself am the passport program coordinator, so my whole job is the Nebraska passport program. I have been in this role since 2019, so this is my seventh Nebraska passport season. So I will know a lot of things, and I hope I can be of help to all of you. Um, Everyone in the waiting room, sorry, looks like I have a message. Everyone in the waiting room should be admitted. I keep trying to check it, but hopefully the person you're referring to is in the meeting already. But um, anyway, so yes, I've been here for 7 years. Well, I'll be 7 year or 6 years in May, but this will be my seventh program. So any questions you might have, any problems that arise, I've probably dealt with before. So just know that my job is to make sure that you guys are feeling listened to and understood, as well as getting value out of the program. I will kind of go to bat for you whenever needed. First things about shipments. So you pretty soon, hopefully within the next week, you should be receiving your counter sign, which is going to be a foam board that has an easel on the back that can go somewhere in your destination that is front facing. So think a check-in desk, a register, any, maybe an entry table at the front of a museum, something like that, that is people can see. And this is going to be the place where they will potentially get their stamp. They will talk to staff or maybe even sign a logbook. So just think, yeah, front-facing location. There's also going to get window decals. So you'll have some decals to stick on the front of your destination, either in the window or front door or whatever's convenient for your unique space. That way folks know to go into that door to get their stamp. You will also receive a stamp. I have one right here. I don't know if all of you can see me and I'm really tiny, but this is the stamper you'll get. I'll go over them in a little bit too, but each stamp is unique to each destination. So make sure that you do not lose these, as they're not really replaceable. But most of you will be getting two of those. And then you'll also be getting a staff handout, which is just like a cheat sheet for if you have a lot of like front of the house employees like baristas or something that don't maybe need to watch an entire presentation but need a little help. I'll give that in the box as well. You'll also be getting a separate shipment. So that's the first box. That's going to come directly from me. A separate shipment will be with booklets in it. So you should be getting about 150, maybe 200, depending on where you're located. It's encouraged to keep these in the eyesight of all visitors. Um, we want people to be interested in the booklets. Be sure to give them out. If people ask about them, provide them for folks. The idea is that you have plenty available. So if someone comes in and says like, oh my gosh, what's this? You can explain it to them, give them a few booklets and send them on their way. We don't encourage to stuff them in bags. So say your retail store, we don't necessarily want you to put them in the bag. We want people to be intrigued and interested in the program. But the booklet is kind of your most powerful marketing tool. So please feel free to give those out and really, share them with the public. There will be folks that come in at the beginning of the program specifically to get a passport booklet. So just know that they've scoped you out in their hometown and they are going to be looking just to get a booklet. They'll get a stamp too, but they're going to come in specifically for that reason. So starting May 1st, just be prepared. A bit of things about popularity. So already this year, about 15,000 booklets have already been pre-ordered by the public. So those are being mailed out now. I know a lot of people requested them back in December. So that first wave of mailings has already been shipped out. And I know a handful of people already have their booklets in hand, which is great because those people requested them a long, long time ago. But if the more recently requested, the longer you're back on the list. So they're being mailed out actively, but it might take a little bit of time for all of them to get them. We had about 300 applications from you guys, which I know you are familiar with the email I sent out. So congratulations on being selected. I hope you have a really great and rewarding summer. But just know that it's a very popular program for not just participants of the public, but for destinations. And the last bit is we are printing 50,000 booklets. So of the 15,000 already pre-ordered and then the chunk that are going to go to you guys, we have quite a few booklets to use. So if you run out of booklets at your destination, please reach out. I'll get you more. Always happy to either hand deliver them depending on where you're at in the state or mail them to you. This is a brief overview of some of the results from 2024. The big number that we talk about a lot is the amount of people who went to all 70 stops. We call those people our passport champions. Last year, we had 1,085 people go to all 70 destinations. We are really proud of that number. That's a number that we talk about a lot because it's big and shiny. And those are people, a lot of the folks that do the passport year after year, and they absolutely love it. And they're very, very passionate. A lot of them will wear their t-shirts around, so you'll see them. I encourage you to talk to them about how long they've been participating, how many stops they've gone to, all of that. The average number of stamps that a stop got last year was 3,600. So I'll talk about traffic here in a little while, but in 2024, the average stop in Nebraska got 3,600 stamps or folks into their door. It's dependent on where you're at geographically. So if you're in the western side, that might be a little bit lower just because of population density. But the average stop is what that number is. We also had folks from 43 different states represented. So it is a Nebraska program. Almost, a wide majority of the folks who do the passport are Nebraskans, but there's also a lot of people who come from out of state to do the program because the Nebraska passport is very unique. And as far as we know, there's no other statewide travel program like it. This is a quick age breakdown of about what you can expect from participants. The majority of the participants are retired folks. So these are going to be, friends or maybe couples that travel together during the summertime who are retired. And then also a large portion of our demographics are going to be parents of school-age kids. So, kids from the age of, maybe kindergarten to 7th grade. That's kind of seems to be the sweet spot for the kiddos that are doing the program. So, that might be helpful for you if you care a lot about demographics, but that's kind of some general ideas for you. Here's some quick marketing terms. So these are things we talk about a lot when we discuss the Nebraska passport. So we like to refer to all of our stops as hidden gems because a lot of you are small businesses that a lot of folks have never been to, or small museums that people are unfamiliar with, or even just places that people know about but have never, made an effort to go inside of for whatever reason. But we love to use the term hidden gems because that's a really great way to describe the places that are on the passport. It's fun and easy. So it's very, very simple to do the program, I try to make as few barriers of entry as humanly possible. I'll discuss that in a little while, but truly, I want to make sure it is super, super easy and fun for all people. We also have a wide variety of destinations, so you know, most of you are going to be totally different from the stop that's next door to you. So it's retail stores, it's cafes, it's museums, it's parks, it's roadside attractions, it's retail stores, it's all sorts of things. And then the last bit is it being cost friendly. So I'll talk about this in more length, but the passport is free. So it is free for you, the stop. It is free for any of the participants. There is a no purchase necessary clause in our passport. So in order to give out a stamp, you cannot require someone to charge. You cannot require someone to purchase something at your destination. We strongly encourage people to spend money at destinations, but it is not a requirement in order to get a stamp. Um, and the last thing we always talk about is every year is different. So obviously, none of you were on the passport in 2024. So if people participate year after year, there's always new experiences for folks to see. One more thing I do kind of like to say, especially for like lifelong Nebraskans, is how many times have you driven by? So a good example might be a cafe in a town where you go, oh my gosh, I have wanted to go there for years. Like someday I'm gonna get in there. Or, oh my gosh, I've heard about that museum. Goodness, I'll one of these days I'll make effort to go in there. And this is kind of the passport gives people an excuse to stop saying that. And like, this is your reason to go inside a destination. Because I know that can be, we can all be fault of that, right? We can all cause a bit of complacency maybe in our own life. This is the top 6 reasons that folks have said they participate in the Nebraska Passport Program. So that is either discovering hidden gems. So they love to find new destinations. They enjoy nature and scenery. They like to learn about history. They like to support Nebraska businesses, spending time with friends and family. And then a lot of folks do also enjoy kind of the game aspect of the passport, the somewhat competitiveness of the program. This is quick stop benefits. So things like statewide and local awareness and publicity. There's going to be a lot of news coverage about the passport throughout the summer. It's a very great human interest story. I do a ton of interviews with radio stations and TV stations across the state. So just um, just an increase of publicity and awareness. You're also going to get an increase in traffic, hopefully a big increase in sales or donations, as well as potential increase in social media followers. These are a few things that folks have said. You know, passport visitors have already returned to my destination. So something to keep in mind is that if someone stops by, maybe especially if you're like a museum or something, or maybe a restaurant, and they've maybe already eaten lunch, you don't know when they're going to come back. The next time they're in your community, they might come back or they're going to tell someone else about your destination. So never take that word of mouth marketing for granted. And then obviously passport visitors are also talking to their friends and family about your destination. So if they do have a really wonderful meal, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you have got to go to this destination. So there's a lot of those things that happen. Also talking about community benefits, so building new partnerships with local businesses and organizations. We find it very beneficial for stops to be in communication with their cities, their counties, folks around them who also might benefit from the passport. Because other destinations like gas stations, lodging, if you're a retail store, maybe the restaurant across the street will benefit. If you're a museum, maybe the retail store will benefit. You never know the city or county or village-wide impact that the passport will have for you. Some goals for 2025 is we obviously want a 100% positive experience. I know that's like lofty, but for the most part, I've never really had a destination say they will not be a passport before. So my goal is for that to be the case for you guys. I want you to want to be on the passport again, to think it's valuable for you, to know that it is increasing sales and awareness and other benefits for you guys. It's also a goal of ours to maintain or increase participation from year to year. It's stayed pretty steady. Participation has kind of found a sweet spot a little bit over the last handful of years. So we obviously don't want to see it decline, But there's a lot of factors that measure into participation for things, but keeping that strong level is important. And then we also want to ensure program sustainability by showing economic impact. So that is just making sure passporters are spending money at destinations that they're traveling, buying gas, staying in hotel rooms, all that. So the passport itself is broken out into 10 tours. So each of you are in a tour. You can find what tour you're in the passport booklet, but there are 10 tours that all kind of have their own theme. The themes are pretty fun. They're not really they don't impact basically participation in terms of like people doing a specific tour. It more is just a way for us to talk about the program, make it a little bit more interesting. um, Folks don't really do the program by tour, they do the program by region. So you don't have to worry about your tour affecting your business all that much, but it is a fun way to talk about it. So a few of them are going to be like Colorific is a fun tour this year. That is every destination on that tour has a color in their name. So this will be like the Scarlet Hotel here in Lincoln, or Big Red Treats in Grand Island, or Blue Bison in Hebron. And then some of them are a little bit more general, like Eat, Shop, Repeat is going to be the shopping and eating tour, so that'll have restaurants and retail on it. Tail Trail is a tour dedicated to bookstores and literary, things. So think of museums about authors and things like that. So you can familiarize yourself with the tours, but they're just kind of an added fun thing. It doesn't really impact the program that much, but it's more fun for me to go on TV and talk about the book tour than it is to say just these are some general stops. All right, quickly, what do you need to do? So pretty self-explanatory, something I'm sure all of you do to everyone who comes into your destination anyway, but just say hello, thank them for participating in the passport, perhaps ask them any questions like, oh, what's been your favorite place so far? Where are you traveling from? Where are you going next? Um, Pretty easy. And then the big thing is there's only one prize entry per person. So people in the same household will need like if there's a couple, each of them need their own passport book. And all of these rules that I'm going to discuss are in the passport booklets. So if anyone ever gives you a little bit of flack for things, just know that they're all in here, I promise. Um, but a couple will each get their own passport. You have to stamp each of them. Um, and then that way they each get their own set of prizes. And you can only stamp for people who are present. So if someone walks in with two passports and they go, oh, my husband couldn't come with me today, um, that is too bad. They have to be present in order to receive the stamp. So the one woman will receive her stamp, but her husband will not in that situation. Oh, yes, that's right here. All of these rules are in the booklet. So make sure that if people are a little bit like confused about that it is in the booklet. And people can always call me. If anybody ever gives you a hard time about anything, any rules, anything that happens, please have them call me. I am happy to talk to someone on the phone for half an hour and kind of I can give them my reasoning behind my decision making, where you guys might not know the reasons certain decisions are made. So again, I am happy to talk to anyone about really anything. Give them my direct phone number and I will get back to them. And then Nebraska state law does prohibit charging participants to receive a stamp. So just remember, you cannot have anyone pay something in order to get a stamp. They get one no matter what. Things you can do is just get people excited. So say like, our best-selling chocolate is this, or our museum, this exhibit is really popular, or this is a reason why folks want to be or come to our museum. This is something that's a popular exhibit for folks. You can describe the deal or discount that you offered. So when I had you fill out the marketing survey, there was a check that said you had a deal or discount or you wanted to offer one to folks. I strongly encourage everyone to offer a deal or discount. If you said no to that, that's fine. But it has been shown that if you are offering a deal or discount, it does help you. So this can be something like a free sample. This can be 10% off your purchase. This can be a free appetizer, really whatever you want. Um, But and please make sure, especially if you have a lot of kind of day-to-day employees, that they understand that. So if you're a coffee shop owner, please make sure that your staff knows the discount because you're definitely going to get questions about it if you said you had one. There is a indicator in the booklet next to your destination that you have a deal. So people will ask you about it. Um, I will say the deal is not publicized anywhere, so the specifics of your deal can change. If you're finding that a free sample is not as successful as you wanted it to be, or maybe the discount isn't, being as, is not offering as many sales as you'd like it to be, you can always change it no matter what. The actual deal is not anywhere. The only thing that's printed is the fact that you have a deal. Okay, so when you're doing stamps, so the main way people get stamps is through the passport booklet itself. The actual stamper, like I said, is unique to every stop. It goes by what tour you are in, and then you are assigned a number. So you cannot, so say there's another stop in your town, you cannot interchange the stamps. They have to be the same one associated with your business. That's kind of the main reason we prevent cheating, to be honest. Um, so make sure that, you don't lose the stamps because they are expensive and they're tough to replace. They take some time to come in. I think it's like a 2 to 3 week wait. So please try not to lose them. The ink in the stamp might get low throughout the year, and there are ways to add ink to the stampers. So you can take apart the stamp, add a drop of ink onto the ink pad, and go on your way. But if that becomes a problem, reach out. I'll send you ink. You don't have to buy them. Um, but just know that the stamp itself is kind of an important aspect for you guys to keep track of. There's also the app, which I'll go over here in a little bit, and then there's selfies. So here for physical stamping, here are the places that you need to stamp. So for every single passport, you have to stamp in two different places. So say you are the Railroad Town Antique Mall in Grand Island. You will stamp next to your destination, and then you'll also stamp next to your destination in the prize entry sheet. So the prize entry sheet is this little piece in the back of the booklet. It unfolds like an accordion, and you just stamp next to your destination on this and in the booklet itself. The prize entry sheet is what folks turn into our office. So this is the thing that is their prizes. So please, please, please make sure you put this back in people's booklet. If they lose it, they get very, very distraught. We don't want that to happen. And then the booklet itself is just kind of a keepsake. So people like to have it there as well. Okay, so for the app, the 2025 update for the app is available right now. So I would encourage you all of you to go download it on your phone and check your app page and make sure everything is correct. I have access to, actually, I think I'll just show it really quick. This is what your profile for your app page will look like. I have access to all of this information, so I can update your description, your icons, your hours, your phone number, website, all of that. So I would encourage you to download the app and go make sure that all of that is correct, and I can update it before the program begins. But the app is a free app for folks to download. You just have to search Nebraska Passport 2025, and it allows participants to get stops or stamps 24/7. So there's a lot of reasons we have the app. The big reasons are we can allow for this to change because your hours are probably going to change throughout the season. You might, I don't know, you might even move destinations. Your business might move at some point. So we have access to all of this. It should also work even if folks don't have service. And it allows participants to get their own stamps. So there's nothing you guys need to do for app stamps. The app stamps are gained by the participants themselves. So what happens are they show up to your destination. The app is based off of the coordinates that you guys provided for me. So it is geolocation with a certain gate around it. So when they're close enough to your destination, they can get their stamp. There's nothing you need to do. If you have issues with the app or anybody has problems with the app while they're inside your destination, it'll probably happen. They can go to nebraskapassport.com/app and there's all sorts of information on that website. or they can just call me. I can add stamps to people's accounts retroactively. So if someone calls me and they go, "Oh my gosh, I thought my stamp worked at this location and it didn't, it's not showing up now," I can go into the back end of the app and I can add that stamp for them. So it allows for a pretty easy transition. Um, so the app does have some downsides. So I know some folks do have a love-hate relationship with the app. So the alternative for the app is all of you needing to be open at all times. Um, because the biggest reason we had for losing participation for a number of years was frustration with businesses not being open. However, because a lot of you are small businesses, you only have so many staff members. You also need to live your own life. So I do not believe that a destination needs to be open 7 days a week, 9 to 9 in order to be on the passport. So this allows a little bit more flexibility for you guys and flexibility for our participants. Um, if they come by, they get a stamp on their app and leave without coming inside, that can negate some of the time that people. So in the past, stops have spent time stamping passports for folks who maybe weren't as interested in their destination for whatever reason. And this can kind of alleviate some of that struggle. It does not mean they're not going to come back at a later time. It doesn't mean they're going to tell their friends or family about your destination. Um, just be aware that the app has some ups and downs, but overall it is very helpful and people love it. If for whatever reason the location of your stamp is wrong, I have gone through and checked every single one of them, but let me know if something weird is happening with your location so folks can't get a stamp. I can go in and edit all of that too. Some of you did submit a trivia question. So this is just for fun. There's no benefit in terms of the participants for the trivia question. It's just maybe a conversation starter for folks. But if you did submit a trivia question, it will pop up after the person gets a stamp. And then it will show them the correct answer. And so customers might ask about it. Maybe just familiarize yourself with what the question is. Again, just for fun, but you might get some questions about it. So selfies are the other alternative to the app. So maybe you have folks that aren't comfortable using technology, or there's young kids who don't have phones. So you can also take a selfie at a destination to receive a stamp. So this is a great example. This is a gentleman who probably arrived at this destination when it was closed. So he took a selfie of himself in front of the business, and that counts as their stamp too. So they turn those selfies into us, and then we use them as their stamp. And all that instructions, again, are going to be in the booklet. Okay, so some long-term benefits for you guys. So you are more than welcome and actually encouraged to gather participant information. So there could be a login book that folks can sign in and put their name, email, phone number, where they're located, maybe a zip code if you track that kind of thing. That allows you to start building relationships with participants. You can also start building relationships with the folks that maybe want to opt into a newsletter or want to get coupons and deals sent back to them. You can use an iPad for this, a guest book. You can tie it into a prize drawing. So you can say like, hey, fill out our guest book. And at the end of the season, we'll give people 2 prize boxes. And then you can also encourage folks to follow you on social media. So yes, so with communication, contacts with participants, you can send about events, specials, anything you might do. You can thank them for participating in the passport and then maybe encourage them to come back by offering them a coupon. So it's a great time during the holidays, especially if you're a retail store or something. If you want to say like, hey, come back during the holiday season, we'll give you 25% off your purchase or something like that. And you can also give people coupons and stuff if they fill out the contact info, if that's something that your destination would benefit from. That's not a requirement for you guys to do, but if you think that that would be helpful for you, please do. These are very general overview of the stop requirements that we have for you guys. Please try to be open the hours you have listed in the booklet. If you have to adjust them, that's fine. Just let me know. I will adjust them in the app as well as put them on the website. I know the booklet was printed in March, so things change. And there is probably some of you, your information's going to be wrong in the booklet, and I apologize about that. I try my absolute darndest to make sure things are correct, but certain things fall through the cracks. But again, it can all be updated digitally. Try to be open as many weekends as you can. And then the last catch-all category is just caring. So please try to care about the program, be kind to participants. They're going to be so dang excited to see you guys. So just try to, give a little bit of that back to them. Um, and just have a certain level of care about the program. Learn the most about it that you can before it starts, because you will get questions, but it's also okay to learn as you go too. Um, so these are a few things you can do as well. So you can provide souvenirs or free samples. I know Lulabee here in Lincoln was on it a few years ago, and goodness, their chocolate samples went off like so great. People loved getting the free samples. You can offer behind the scenes tours to some of these people. So say you are a candle store and you can offer them a behind the scene tour of where you make your candles, or anything that might be fun for them specifically. Passporters love to feel special. I'll say that. They love to feel like there's something for them specifically, which who doesn't love to feel special? Um, you can do a photo op, so you can create a little sign maybe for them to say like, oh, take your picture here, and encourage it to post it on social media or whatever. You can also do outdoor signage. So this is not something that we provide, this outdoor signage, but you can create a pop-up banner that will, cause people, like especially if you're in like a strip mall or something that maybe is a little bit more complicated to navigate through, you can have this pop-up sign to make sure people can access and find your business easily. People love that. People like to take pictures in front of it, all that. So with the deals and discounts, you can connect with local businesses. So say you're in a downtown district, you can offer up a coupon book for all of the businesses in your district, or say like, oh, if you're going to go eat next door, here's a free appetizer coupon or something. You can give people brochures and maps, things that are helpful to them as travelers, because a lot of these folks are not going to be from your area. So they might not know that a really great state park is, a few miles down the road, or they might not know the history of your town. So try to share that with them. They like to know about events. They like to know about lodging. I love to throw in lore right here because that's one of my favorite things when I travel, is learning about the history and maybe the fun things that happened in the town. The town I grew up in is Fairbury, so I absolutely love when I get to share people the lore of my hometown. So, did you know that Fairbury used to have a circus that wintered in Fairbury over the winter time in the late 1800s and early 1900s, because we were a hub for the railroad? So yes, there was circus people walking around Fairbury during the winter, which I think is very charming. Um, okay, so remember that even if travelers do not purchase something, please always display excellent customer service. Please try to be kind. I know it can get frustrating, especially like maybe on a busy weekend, but just know that those folks you don't know who they're going to recommend it to. You don't want them to leave with a negative experience. Overall, over the last, 6 years and 7 seasons I've done this, passport stops have always said that the overall increase of awareness, traffic, sales, whatever, has outweighed the time spent stamping for people who don't spend money at your destination or maybe don't donate to your destination. So keep that in mind, but just know to always display excellent customer service. This is a quick map or a graph, I suppose, of what you can expect in terms of when folks will be coming. So May is it's gonna start off like a rocket. So people love to get stamps right in May. They're very eager. So you're probably gonna see the highest number of people who get their stamp and don't spend anything in May. So just to give you that warning that it's going to start off that way, and it's probably not going to stay that way, but May is going to be the group of folks that maybe are the most eager to get their stamps and maybe aren't as interested in visiting your destination. I do not encourage that. As the person who runs the program, I strongly discourage people to get their stamps as fast as possible. There is absolutely no award for being the first person to get all 70. I can assure you. I don't even publish that stat until July. So know that that is not encouraged, but it is something that's going to happen. So, but there's also going to be a lot of people who are coming and are going to be excited to experience your destination. June will be about the same as May, maybe a slight decrease. July is definitely going to be your most busy month. People are exploring, they're excited for summertime. August, it will go down pretty significantly just because of school being back in session and it gets really hot. So people aren't as excited to drive around. So know that. And then September, it will go back up a little bit because people are trying to get as many stamps as they can before the season ends. But it starts May 1st, ends at the end of September. So you have 5 months worth of folks coming in. So a responsibility that you guys have is to please try to track or at least estimate the amount of traffic you're going to be getting. So you can do this by a number of ways. So you can do this through your signage sheet that I had mentioned, or you can have a ticker behind the desk. So every time a passporter comes in to get their book stamped, you can, you know, tick the ticker, or you can make a keep a running tally behind the desk or something. But it is important for me that you guys keep track of how many folks are coming through. This can also just be an estimate at the end of the day. So say you go at the end of your Friday, you can go, oh, we probably had about 50 people in today, or that's maybe generous, but you can kind of keep a running tally. That is really the only way we can track physical participation. I have access to all of the digital stamps, but for physical participation, it's just you guys. So please, please, please try to find a way that works for you guys to keep track of participation. You can also track which percentage of passport travelers spent money. That's helpful for us too, to kind of give statistics to folks to show program sustainability. A lot of the legislature really likes to see, the spending impacts on their communities. So if you want to keep a running tally of how many people are making a purchase or giving donations or whatever, you're welcome to do that as well. Um, I will be sending monthly digital numbers. So I will, at the end of May, I will tell you how many digital stamps you had for the month of May. So I'll be like, hi, so and so, you have received this many stamps in the month of May. Please send me your physical traffic estimates and any sales estimates that you might have. And then you just email me back. It's pretty simple. It's just an exchange. And then I will also send out a final survey at the end of the season for total numbers, and then as well as just like general feedback. Okay, so like I had said before, please try to be open the hours you submitted. This is always the number one complaint we get is, well, the stop wasn't open when they said they'd be. And I completely understand that things happen. I'm not saying you have to be open. Just please try to make it a priority. Um, because folks do get sad if they drive 4 hours out of the way to come see you and you're not open. Things happen. Just let me know if you are closed. I will try to communicate that with participants as best I can. Um, but it is better to just try to honor the schedule that you have listed out for me. You can, so if you are closed, so say you're going on vacation and you don't have staff to cover, you can always give the stamp to a nearby business. So say you are in a downtown district and you are a retail store, you can give the stamp to the restaurant down the street or maybe another retail business. And on your door, you can say, sorry, we're closed. To get a physical passport stamp, go to X business and they will provide you one. Um, Posting a sign on the door is really going to be the easiest way to do this. It's just the old analog works best sometimes. So let me know if that happens. I can send out again stuff online, but putting a stamp or a sign on your door is really going to be the best way to do it. Just please let me know if any long-term closures need to happen or anything like that. Also, part of your responsibility is local tourism. So the passport is for you guys, but it is also a tourism driver. So we don't just want it to benefit your business or destination. We want to benefit the tourism industry as a whole, as well as your community. Um, so, have brochures and coupons ready, like I had mentioned. Contact your local Convention and Visitors Bureau or chamber or economic development and let them know, and maybe give them any ideas you might have or work with them in any way. And then you can also, just share with other destinations that you guys are going to be on the passport and maybe that they can even expect an additional number of visitors. So just be a good advocate for your community. Um, be an ambassador for the passport. So say you have a local coming in and they see the passport sign and they go, oh, what's that? Don't just go, oh, it's this thing I'm on. Explain it to them, try to get them to do the passport too. Truly getting folks to hear about the passport. We don't do any formal marketing. So the only thing we do is mouth to mouth communication. So please um, just you know, um, be an ambassador for the passport in general. So encourage people to take one, encourage them to do the program. Um, you can also encourage them to submit photos and stories at our website or the Passport Pals Facebook page, which I'll go over in a little bit. But people love to see stories about your destination, and you can share pictures of them on your Facebook. So, like, oh, first passporters of today, here you go. Um, all sorts of fun things you can do with them. Encourage people who do not know about the program at all to look into it. And then one thing that I would encourage you to do as well is to get to know the other passport stops in your region. A lot of folks are going to be traveling from the same place and going to the same place because they might be on the highway or whatever, but just get to know the stops around you so that way you can encourage them to keep going or they might say something like, oh, I'm going up to Norfolk next. Which routes should I take? Things like that, where you can just know like, oh, this is the best way I would recommend, or things like that. So just be an ambassador and a good representation of your community. So, like I said, I do a lot of TV and radio interviews throughout the season. So, some of you, I might ask you to come on TV with me. It will not be that scary. I will always be on with you, so you don't have to worry about that. But that is one of the biggest ways we promote the program is by doing traditional media, as well as a lot of newspaper interviews and things like that. So, your local newspaper might even reach out to you. Um, I do a lot of passport presentations. So, I did one yesterday in Grand Island. But you can do these at, I can come and talk to Rotary clubs, PEO groups, assisted living homes, schools, community centers, Kiwanis, really whatever group you think might benefit. If you want me to do a passport presentation in your community, I'd be happy to do that. There is also end of season prizes and donations. So I will ask for that where you can send in any sort of donation that you might want to give out to us. There might be surprise visitors to your guys' stops. So a few years ago, our Lieutenant Governor, Mike Foley, was a big passport advocate. So he would stop by stops just randomly and get his passport stamp. So your local legislator or state senator might do that as well. Just know that that might happen. And then if you have any special events or anything, and we do some special events, that we will be promoting those as well. So social media, we will share a lot about the passport on our own social media. So visit Nebraska social media, Facebook and Instagram. You can see our follower counts. So it can be helpful for you. We hope that you get some, if you're someone who does a lot of social media, you can get some help from that as well. I will talk about the Facebook group here in a little bit. There's also passport stories is a thing that are submitted on our website, and people get additional prize drawings for passport stories. So submitting people to always, or encouraging people to submit things on the Facebook group or the stories benefits them as well. And then I did send a marketing kit back when I had sent your original congratulations email. But I'll send that, or not the congratulations email, the stop announcement email. I will send that again in the link with this video, with this training. But that has things like our logo that you're welcome to use, and a few things you can post on social media if that is useful to you guys. So the Nebraska Passport Pals Facebook page is new. It just started last year. And it is really fun. So it has about 2,600 members. Well, 2.6 thousand members, 2,600 members. And it allows me to update all people in this group about any updates you guys might have. You are welcome to make posts in this group. So if you want to have your destination make a post in the Passport Pals group, you're welcome to do that. We do approve every single post ourselves. So there's no spam on this page. If there's a really negative post, if someone has a lot of feelings, we typically handle that privately. So don't worry about like someone posting something really nasty. We will always handle that. I am, again, like I've said, willing to talk to anybody about anything that's gone on and solve it that way. But you're welcome to post about events that you have, maybe your local events. So say you're in Wayne, maybe you want to promote about the chicken show, um, all of that. So just know that that is a resource you can have, and please go follow it. Just Nebraska Passport Pals on Facebook. And then you can post whatever you'd like within reason. We might deny a few if you're posting like every day, but this is an example of some posts that you can make on your own socials as well as things that the news has done. So this is a 10/11 story that I believe Pure Nebraska did in North Platte. This is a story that someone makes of like, we're excited to start the passport. Here you go. And things you can post throughout the season, kind of being excited about the program and showcasing and promoting the program on your own socials too. Okay, one thing that is also pretty important is if you want more representation within Visit Nebraska as a whole, something we really need you to do is to create a web listing. So this is basically your profile on Visit Nebraska. I would assume most of you have one, but all you have to do is go on to our Visit Nebraska website and you basically just create a listing. You can keep all of the things updated throughout the season. I know some of you had questions when we had sent out the initial press release because it was linked to your listing. This is all stuff you have to edit on your own. We don't edit for you. That just gets to be a lot. Um, so I will send an email about this too, about creating a web listing if you have not already. Ben Jones, who I talked about earlier, he's kind of going to be your go-to guy when it comes to web listings. He'll be able to answer any questions. If you are interested in doing this, do it sooner rather than later, just because you can get it out of the way. This allows us to promote you guys best in our travel guide, in our social media posts on the website itself. You know, our website gets about 1 million active users every year. So just know that it can be really beneficial for you. And it's really the best way for us to be able to promote individual destinations. This is what the kind of look will be for the uh, thing itself. So when you're creating your profile, these are the ways you can edit it. It's called the extranet. Again, that's a bit technical, but I'll send you information about it. So if you're interested in creating a web listing or you need to update your web listing, I'll send you stuff on that as well. So, all right, last bit. I know I've been talking for a while and I also talk kind of fast, so I'm sorry if I'm speaking too fast. Um, so remember, please do not start stamping until May 1st. So you're going to get these in the next few days. In any Lincoln, Omaha, surrounding locations, I actually will probably be hand delivering them. So just know that you'll probably see me in person. You might not get these in the mail. But do not start stamping any booklets until May 1st. Someone comes in the last day of April, you do have to say, I'm sorry. You have to wait till the 1st of May. It's a bit of a stickler thing. But yeah, just know that you have to wait till the 1st of May. And then the last day to stamp is December 30th. Um, Remember, do not stamp booklets for people who are not present. I I will say I have had stops in the past be a bit too much of a stickler about this rule. Like one time I know I had someone say, my baby was sleeping in the car and I walked in and I got a cup of coffee and I asked them to stamp my kid's booklet and they wouldn't because my baby was in the car. If that's the situation, please stamp both of their booklets. That's fine. But if, someone says, my husband's at home and they're not here, that's a different situation. So within reason, it's okay. I am not a huge stickler for the rules. The passport is fun and is supposed to be easy. So don't make it difficult on people, but just know that these rules are in place. Determine how you want to collect participant information and or keep a running tally of estimated traffic. Check your email, for goodness sakes. Please, please, please be someone who checks their email. I'm not going to email you a ton, but I am going to be in contact and I might have questions. If I can't get in touch with you, I will call you. I am one that's not afraid to be on the phone. Think about things you want to add to visitor experience. So if you want to have a photo op, want to have prize drawings, free samples, whatever, just consider ways you might want to be active in that way. Do you want them to leave with anything like brochures or coupons? Do you want them to have anything specific from your destination they can remember? And then again, meet with local businesses that might see an uptick in traffic or just communicate with people around you if you feel that that's necessary. That is all I have for you. Oh, that's the old logo I forgot to change. Sorry about that. Let me know if you have any questions. You can either put them in the chat box or or you can speak. I just allowed you guys to unmute yourselves if you want to say something. So please don't be afraid to ask any questions. I know I covered a lot of things, so don't hesitate with anything. Anybody.
I just want to say hi from Fairbury. This is Alana.
Hi!
I work at Memories and More Antique Mall in Fairbury.
That's nice. Good
Yeah,
to
it's
see
nice
ya.
hearing you grew up in Fairbury.
Yep, I'm passionate about it. Go Jeffs.
And I'm also glad you mentioned PEO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do
So
a lot of work with them with presentations and stuff. Oh,
that's a
looks
good idea. I'll have to talk to my chapter about that.
there you go. Absolutely. Looks like I have a question. Oh, it's a direct message, but it's a good question for everybody. So, is there a way to share what discount you shared with me? So, yeah, so in the survey, several of you who said you were going to do a discount did specify which discount. I do have that information, so I can share that with you. But again, you're welcome to change your discount from what I tell you. So, yes, I will share it with you. Um, so just know, yeah, I'll get it to you, Amy and Shelley. Anybody else have any questions?
We would also like to be refreshed of our deal that we sent
Okay,
because we think we might change.
that's
And
fine.
then we are wondering on the app. I was just looking. Our website is inactive. Do you need me to email that to you?
Actually, yes, that's a good
Okay.
point. So, if you want to email me, you can. I actually, the website part is actually not functional right now, because I forgot to send them everyone's websites. So I'm working on that actively. But if there's a specific one you want me to use, yes, please send it to me. But I'll most likely use the email that or the website that's listed in your marketing survey too. Um, sorry, I'm making notes. Give me 1 second. Okay. Um, yes, who's speaking to me?
Madison, if we wanted to do some sort of is there an easy way to get the logo if we wanted to make like one of those feather banners for
Mhm.
outside spaces?
Yep,
Can we use your
it's
Mhm.
in the marketing kit, so I'll send it again with this link. But yes, absolutely, you're welcome to use the logo and anything you'd like, and it'll be available to you. Looks like I have a question. So, can you send out meeting notes in an email, or are they only available in video form? That's a good question. I can send out the whole PowerPoint. That's fine. I don't really have any preciousness about it, so I can send you the whole PowerPoint. Um, I will be sending information about web listings as well, so be on the lookout for that. Um, and then when can we apply again? So you are encouraged to apply every year if you want to. Um, I will say this pretty blanketly, none of you will be on the program in 2026. That sounds harsh, but there's a reason for that. So please try to make the most of this year if you can. It's a very competitive thing to be a part of. I know some of you probably have applied a lot of times. So just know that you will not be chosen next year, but you will be chosen in the future. If you keep applying and be in communications with me, it's all good. Just know that there's a delay between when you'll be chosen again, and typically that's about 3 to 4 years.
Madison, we have summer hours and we have winter hours. And when I filled
Mhm.
out the application, I really hope that I was thinking of our summer hours. So where do we find where we put our hours so I make sure that they are correct?
Yes, probably the fastest way to do that is just to get the app.
Okay.
Or you can go to the website too. The website's still a little bit under construction, so it's a bit wonky, but if you go to the app, there'll be what's listed in the booklet will be in the app there. And then if there are problems, let me know. And then I can also again, I have a million ways of communicating with passporters, but we can make sure we have the right hours for you. Or when your hours do change, just let me know and I'll update them completely in the app. So like say on September 1st or after Labor Day or whatever, you decide to not be open on Sundays anymore, I can just take that part away.
Okay,
So
thanks.
yeah. Any other questions? That's a good question. So typically for the holidays, so for like 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Juneteenth, the handful of other holidays that maybe I'm missing during the season, I will send out a question. So I'll send out an email like, let me know your Labor Day hours. And that'll be for Labor Day itself and the whole Labor Day weekend. So you can say, we're closed Sunday and Monday of Labor Day. We're closed Saturday through Monday. We're closed just Monday. Um, so I will do that before every holiday. There's also a somewhat decent chance that I will do that pretty last minute. So please respond to that email. I apologize if I do it to you like the day before. I try not to, but I tell you, Memorial Day sneaks up on you and then you go, oh shoot. So just know that yes, I will be asking about your holiday hours and then you can let me know. Anybody else? Look at that. It's exactly 10. I didn't even go over, or 12, 11. It's 11. It's 10 for you who are in the mountain time. Um, but I didn't go over time. So thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me or email me. I'll try to send a really comprehensive email about all of the training and all of that after this is done. It'll probably be either tomorrow morning or later today, depending on how fast things get finished. But um, thank you. I hope this was informative and worth your time. Please be on the lookout for the 2 different packages that are going to be coming and try to think of those last few things I mentioned about creating a way to keep contact information and keep a running tally of visitors, as well as anything you'd like to have them get when they arrive at your destination. So anyway, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you have a great day. It's sort of nice outside, but the air quality is bad. So I don't know. Go outside if you want to. Anyway, thank you so much. See you guys later.